Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the GepRC channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. And in this video I'm gonna be reviewing this here frame. Yes, I've got me a new frame in, and that means I'm gonna be building a new quad, of course, and that's always exciting, at least to me. Yeah, the building part of your RCs is a big part of the hobby, at least again to me. Very nice to be building stuff. Okay, so this is actually a Rotorama frame, and you might recognize it as being a HGLRC Mefisto frame. So what is up with this? Is this a clone of sorts? No, actually HGLRC buys them from Rotorama. I'm not sure if I'm butchering that name, Rotorama. Well, okay. There is obviously a link to this frame in the description down below. And there are actually two links. This is a 5-inch frame, and this is also, I'm not sure if it'll show up in the video well, but this is a special edition of the Mefisto frame. Ordinarily it would be all black, right? But this one has a reflective grey, silver and red in it, in the carbon fiber. It looks majestic. So yeah, apart from the looks of it, the frame is exactly the same. It's no stronger or less strong. So if you'd opt to go for the all black version, you'd end up with the same experience. It just looks different. But again, this does look very luxurious. Okay, so the question would be, what kind of frame is this? Is this a racing frame? Is this a freestyle frame? A basher all-round frame? I'd call this a freestyle, well, all-round frame. It's not an ultralight. Rotorama actually does sell an ultralight racing frame, which has thinner arms and such. This one is a bit more built to be bashed, to be crashed a lot, so to speak. And it does feel very sturdy. And yeah, okay, so so far I've been very positive about this frame. There are a few drawbacks, as with any products, but let me first show you how this frame comes when you order it. Alright, the frame came in this rather unassuming cardboard box, Rotorama Mefisto. And well, nothing special, but the frame was protected well in this box. And this is all the parts that were in the box. All the carbon fiber parts were sealed in separate plastic bags, so they couldn't scratch each other up. That's nice. I have to tell you that all the carbon fiber parts had a little bit of carbon dust on them. Not a whole lot. You don't end up with black hands or anything, but yeah, just run a damp cloth over everything and you'll have clean parts. Now at first glance, the edges of all the carbon fiber parts look quite sharp, but they have been sanded down or chamfered. It is only a very slight chamfer. Hardly visible to the eye, but you won't be cutting your hands up on these parts, so you don't have to run a file or sandpaper along the edges anymore, so that's nice. Yeah, again, it looks completely sharp and hard edges, but they have been worked, so to speak, so that's nice. Now, the way this works with the 4 arms, this is how the 4 arms will be mounted in the frame. So in the center they will butt up against each other. And yeah, I have already built this frame. And you end up with a very stiff frame. Now, will there be any wiggle room after a while? I simply don't know. But again, I've already built the frame. And for now it is rock solid. So for now this works like a charm. Okay, couple of accessories. One battery strap, which yeah, is anti-slip, so it has a rubbery coating on it. That's nice. A screw set, and there were a couple of spares in it, but not a complete second set of screws, but more than enough, and they feel like quality screws to me. And I got a decal sheet from Rotorama, which is always nice. Alright, a quick look at the side plates of the frame. And as you can see over here, these are the mounting holes for your FPV camera. And yeah, a myriad of options actually. Some cameras have 3 holes, mounting screw holes above each other. So that's where these mounting holes come into play. Some cameras come with a screw hole at the rear of the camera. So that's where this mounting hole comes into play. So that's pretty flexible. That's actually nice. Now let me go and build this frame again. Yeah, and I'll come back to you with my findings on the build and how everything feels. And there's the frame all built again, as you saw it and at the start of this video. So review time. What was the build experience like? Well, it's basically only a couple of screws. You screw in these uprights, which are well, horizontal bars. 4 screws there. Okay, then you've got 4 screws that tie the arms into the center frame, right? And those come up in here into those square plates, so to speak. And this does work. This does work very well. However, these square plates do have a tendency of falling out if you work on the frame, right? If you take out these screws, maybe you want to replace an arm, right, after a crash. These metal plates have a tendency of falling out, and they are pretty small. Yeah, so I've had other frames that use this setup. Works well. But you do have to be mindful of these falling out of the frame when you work on the frame. Just keep that in mind and you'll be good. And in most other builds I've put a little bit of plastic dip, rubber, onto these plates so they stick into their cavity and never fall out. Okay, so right now this frame is very stiff. There's no play whatsoever in the setup of the arms. However, well, I haven't flown this frame obviously, but I do expect that after say 100 flights maybe there will be a little bit of play in this setup with the arms butting into each other in the center. There might be a little bit of wiggling, and a little bit of wiggling, a few millimeters won't be a problem at all, I think. And again, I haven't flown this frame at all, so I have no reason to tell you that that will be a problem. I simply have no idea. Maybe I'll come back to that in a year or so to do a long-term review of this frame. Right now it is super duper sturdy. Okay, so this frame is built for a full-size FPV camera, right? And yeah, this is a design from last year, more or less. There will probably be a newer Mefisto in a while. But well, this frame accommodates a full-size FPV camera. You can of course opt to go for a micro FPV camera and use an adapter to make that a bigger camera. I'll probably, maybe I'll do that. In fact, now that I mention it, there is a list of components I plan to use in this frame. And yeah, T-motor motors and a stick from GepRC, the new GepRC Span Pro tower. I have several quadcopters with that span tower, the non-pro, so the previous version, and it's just a super convenient stack. It's a 4-in-1 ESC, and then you've got a flight controller with an integrated VTX, and again, that's very convenient and it works. There is a link in the description to that stack, and yeah, I look forward to using that stack in this frame. The bolt pattern, of course, over here for your stack is 30.5 by 30.5, so full size. And yeah, one of the drawbacks of this frame, you are supposed to mount your VTX antenna over here, which will have the VTX antenna stick up, well, slightly backwards, like so. Which is far from ideal, I think. So what I will do is probably 3D print a mount so that the VTX antenna will stick out the back. Right? In fact, there are designs, 3D printable designs for mounts at Thingiverse. If you search for Mefisto at Thingiverse, you will come across VTX antenna mounts. Okay, so when I ordered this frame, I was expecting these arms to have a little bit of flex because they are pretty narrow, right? You won't be mounting ESCs on these arms, by the way, because they are so narrow. But I am happy to say that this is a very stiff frame. So I guess they used the right kind of carbon fiber, and they aren't super duper thick. They are 4 mm in thickness, but very sturdy. So yeah, what more can I tell you? Let me pick up a flight controller and a PDB to show you what that looks like in the frame. Okay, so you will not be using a PDB like this in your frame. This is a Maytag PDB with integrated flight controller, which isn't useful for a quadcopter like this because you'd want separate ESCs, which is impractical for this frame. So, I hope you'll be able to see that there is more than enough room for at least 3 layers in this stick. Okay, and what I've done here with the LiPo connection pads at the side of the frame is probably what you'd be doing in this frame. However, can I mount it? Yeah, okay, you can have the LiPo connectors come out the rear. I quite like symmetrical builds, so maybe I'll do this. Who knows? I'll have to see what the stack, that GepRC stack looks like, and we'll see in a while. I have that on order. I haven't received it, so I can't check that. However, that GepRC stack is only 2 layers in height, so that'll be easy peasy to install in this frame. Yeah, cool stuff. What more can I tell you about this frame? Well, this red version, this special edition, is a bit pricey. I'm not sure what the price will be when you are watching this video. Just have a look at the links in the description down below. But it's at least more expensive than the normal black version of this frame. It looks great. Yeah, but is it worth that extra price? Well, yeah. Maybe you want to treat yourself to something really special. In that case, this red version, I am actually not even sure how many are left, because it is a limited edition as well. Yeah, you'll just have to see. It looks gorgeous, and it's just as strong as the all black version. So, by the way, you might have noticed that the T-motor motors I've selected are also partially red. Yeah, and even the washers in that GepRC stack are red. Yeah. Regrettably, I couldn't come across a red FPV camera that I liked, so I'll be using a Runcam Swift 2 full size, but in black. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that kind of concludes my review of this frame. And yeah, again, have a look at my configuration in the description down below. Maybe you have experience with those components and would like to tell me that I shouldn't use those components. Please let me know. That would be useful information. For now, I want to thank you for watching and catch you on the next video. Bye bye.